In this video, I'm going to do an in-depth review of the July 2025 BTO launch from their pricing, location, and what are their pros and cons. Let's talk about Woodlands North Grove. This is a mega project with over 1,148 units of 2-room flexi, 3-room, 4-room, and 5-room flats. There will be 5 residential blocks, including one that is dedicated for rental flats. The height of the towers will range between 25 to 33 stories. In terms of construction timeline, this project will take about 55 months, which is unfortunately one of the slowest in the July batch. But probably the sheer size of the project also contributed to the longer construction time. Interestingly, despite of the giant land plot, the facilities on site are only a preschool and a resident network center. I'm guessing this is because the Woodlands North Verge BTO next door will already have an eating house and a supermarket. In terms of classification, this project, as predicted, will have the standard 5-year MOP, so there is no subsidy recovery clawback and you can rent out the whole flat after MOP. Basically, the restrictions are the same as what you are familiar with in the past. Even though this project is located far away from the central area, it is within walking distance to the Woodlands North MRT station, making it easier to commute around without relying on feeder buses. Now, let's look at the pricing. Here is the summary as well as the comparable resale transaction prices in the area. Because this project is classified as standard, it does not get as much subsidy from the government, hence the price gap between BTO and resale here is not as dramatic as the more desirable areas such as Bukit Merah or Clementi. So for example, the gap between a 4-room BTO flat and the nearby resale transaction is only about 32%, which is kind of small. But how does Woodlands North Grove pricing compares against other BTO in the same batch? Well, let's look at the 4-room prices. Looking at the numbers, the cheapest one is Sembawang Beacon, followed by Bangkit Breeze. Then it's Woodlands North Grove. So the price here is somewhere in the middle. It's not exactly the cheapest, but then it's not the most expensive either. Now, let's look at the site plan. So, majority of the stacks are facing inwards and none of the stacks will face the multi-story car park directly, which is interesting. There may be some waiting time because there are 12 to 13 units sharing only 2 to 3 lifts and then the blocks are so high. So, I don't know why they did not put more lifts here, which is kind of strange because they do have the giant land plot here. There are sheltered linkways connecting all of the blocks with the multi-story car park as well as with the future bus stop. There will be 3 drop-off points serving 4 blocks, so that should be sufficient. And as mentioned earlier, there will be a preschool within the cluster, which is an added convenience for the residents. Now let's talk about the location. Okay, so this is the map that HDB gave. If we check in the Google map, I believe this is the site, which is the previous Admiralty West Prison that has moved to Tanah Merah in 2018. And I also believe that this site is exactly next to the Woodlands North Verge BTO that was just launched in February. In fact, this new Woodlands BTO site is even closer to the Woodlands North MRT station, which is just right here. And then it is also close to Woodlands North RTS station, which is still under development. By the way, Woodlands North Station is also part of the Thompson East Line, so it gives you a direct, although very far, commute to places like Orchard, Santon Way, Marina Bay, Gardens by the Bay, etc. For those of you who are working in the CBD area, Woodlands North Station to Santon Way MRT station is about 41 minutes one way, but at least it is the very last station, so you have a good chance of getting a seat on the train. So as mentioned, Woodlands North RTS station is also nearby, so it will be convenient if you want to go to JB once the RTS is already operational. This Woodlands BTO site is also surrounded by the Admiralty Park and mangrove forest, so most of the stack will have a greenery view. I think some stacks might even be able to get ocean view because ocean is just right over here. There's not much high-rise building around this area except for the upcoming BTO next door, so I guess it depends which stack are you able to pick. The Woodlands Waterfront Park is also near to the site, so it is convenient if you like outdoor activities such as cycling and jogging. What about amenities? Well, if you are referring to amenities within walking distance, indeed it's limited. You can always go to the Woodlands North Verge BTO next door as they have more facilities like an eating house, supermarket, and a preschool. So there is also a food paradise and Kofu if you walk to the south, which is this one. And Woodlands North Plaza is also over here. But if you want more amenities, you need to take a short bus ride or a train to Woodlands MRT station, which is around here, because the area near there will have more shopping and food options. For parents, I don't think you have primary or secondary schools within walking distance, at least not that I can see from this map, but there's still some options within the 2-kilometer radius. As you can see here, you have Woodlands Secondary School, Marsiling Secondary School, Chihua Primary School, Riverside Secondary School, etc. So there are still some options. Okay, let's do a quick recap. What I like about this project is that it gives you the best chance of securing a flat. If we look at the application rate for Woodlands North Verge BTO, which was just launched in February and located literally next to this site, the application rate for 3-room, 4-room, and 5-room flat for first-time families are all 0.9. The 2-room flexi application rate for seniors and singles are higher, but still not as crazy as in other area. And because this location just literally been offered in February, I'm guessing that most people who wanted to apply in this area already applied previously, so there is a good chance that the application rate to this project is even going to be lower than Woodlands North Verge, which will be a good news for those who wanted to apply to this project. Another positive aspect of this project is that you will stand a chance to get a flat that will have an ocean view or greenery view if you pick the right stack. I also appreciate the fact that it is within walking distance to an MRT station. And this might sound strange, but it's true, but there is actually a benefit of living near the very last stop of an MRT line because you get to sit down while everybody else is standing up. Seriously. So your commute might be long, but at least you can sit down and sleep or watch drama or something, right? The proximity to JB is also good if you want more value for money shopping and dining experiences. In fact, the upcoming RTS station is within walking distance. I also like that there are quite a lot of flat types to choose from 2-room flexi up to 5-room flat, so that's good. It also comes with the 5-year standard MOP and standard restrictions, so it is less complicated if you want to sell or rent out the flat after MOP. For parents, there are still some school options within the 2-kilometer radius, so this BTO is also acceptable for families. On the other hand, what don't I like about this project? Well, my main gripe with this Woodlands BTO project is that the price is kinda steep for a non-mature areas when compared with other BTOs, for example in Payoh or Clementi, which were launched at the same time. I'm guessing this is because Plus and Prime flats get more subsidies to make the price more affordable, whereas this Woodlands BTO is a standard project, so the subsidy is more limited. And maybe because they were using historical resale prices that include areas closer to the Woodlands MRT station, I'm not so sure. Anyway, I just feel that the price is not as affordable compared to Sembawang BTO or Bukit Panjang BTO. This same issue actually happened with the previous Woodlands North Verge, which is next to this BTO site, where I also feel like the price is kinda steep. And of course, due to the location, if you are working in the CBD area, your commute will be quite far. You will be spending at least 2 hours back and forth every working day. But this is not specific to this project and more of a reality living in Woodlands North. Note that the facilities on site in this project are kinda limited. It will only have a preschool and a residence network center. I'm guessing this is because the BTO next door, Woodlands North Verge, will have an eating house, shops, and a supermarket, so HDB probably think there is no need to duplicate. But then again, there is something for you to consider. Will it impact the resale and rental value in the future if you have another rival project next door that is only 1 year older but has more facilities? Well, probably not that much impact considering both projects have 5-year MOP. Other than that, you should also consider the potential impact once the RTS project has been completed. If RTS is really as convenient as promised, there will be more Malaysians who live in JB but work in Singapore. On paper, this could mean a lower demand for room and flat rental, although this is just purely my speculation only because we'll just have to wait and see. So what's the conclusion? In my humble opinion, there are better options in this particular batch and this project is not really my favorite. I think this project is very niche lah. It's only suitable for a very targeted audience, such as if you really like the Woodlands area or your family is in the area or you just want to get the highest chance of securing a flat. Does it mean that this project is terrible? Well, not exactly. Secondly, to be fair, the Woodlands area historically has a strong demand, so it does have its own fan base. Because the location is near an MRT station and the MOP is only 5 years, if the price is right, you still have a good chance reselling it after MOP. Who knows? This project may be a good stepping stone for those who want to get started on their property ladder journey. If you would like to know more about the upcoming BTO launch, check out my channel as I have more videos about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!